Hello, friends. Welcome once again to my vlog. I'm sure many of you, like me, love to be outside, explore new environments, enjoy new cultures and experiences. So, I have a question to you. In your nature adventures, can you recall one special moment? Stepping back and just marveling at a tree? Trees are a wonder. They simply stand tall and proud in one singular, solitary place their entire lives. Now imagine us being in that state for few hours. What patience they have, what endurance, acceptance, peace, and calm the tree must have, right? To accomplish this unimaginable feat, to stay rooted in one place, not just for a couple of months, but for one's entire life, this reflection got me thinking. Perhaps this nature, this natural energy emanating from the forest, which is so positive and pure, maybe it's because of these qualities that the tree possesses. Now that we are forced to remain rooted in our homes the same way, is it possible that we could use this time of solitude to recreate our natural self, remember our natural life purpose, and reconnect to our planet? Now, a couple of weeks back, a friend of mine happened to tell me how a huge tree had come crashing into their compound, leaving a huge void. It was raining heavily that night. The tree was home to many species of birds who, in all their wisdom, has chosen to build their nest in that huge tree that came with the assurance of a safe haven. The tree just caved in this time after more than 4 decades of existence. That is what she told me. Imagine all those birds who were asleep that night. It was something like, the passengers in long distance trains that collide in the middle of the night. A big jolt wakes them up to discover their whole world turned upside down. Something similar must have rattled the birds when they found themselves closer to the ground. Imagine those moments of confusion and hopelessness when they extracted themselves from the wreckage, to fly off to nearby safety. The swaying electric wires must have clutched their nervous feet as they tried to make sense of the world during the heavy downpour, vigorously shaking their rattled heads, waiting patiently and calling out other members of the family to unite. Well, the next morning, my friend woke up to hear fresh new voices in the garden. And as she opened her window, she saw these birds, agile and faster than human beings, in rebuilding homes. Some were already flying around carrying pieces of straw and wires in their beaks as the new to lay the new foundation for cozy, durable nest. She saw quite a few of their flock who were still who just still I mean gazed at the uprooted tree, perhaps fondly recollecting the good times they enjoyed up there. They were dazed. If I was in a place, I would still be looking at the now uprooted giant tree because it must have planted in my mind forever. I would still be looking at it through my inner eye and try seeking some inspiration or lessons. Now, does a tree deserve to be immoralized? Does a tree become evergreen in history, or it remains just like ordinary mortals who come and go? We are all uprooted from time to time in so many different ways. The uprooted tree left behind a lot for me to dig up within. I began to wonder what these trees would say if they could talk. I think they would be sad, they would be angry, they would be disappointed, but somehow compassionate. The trees would be forgiving, which is surely saddest of all. These poor trees have to watch while we cut down their friends. We do not stand tall like these trees, but we stand strong. We stomp our feet and demand attention. We pull down such beautiful things. And all for what? A little more elbow room? Surely they weep. Perhaps that is what happens in autumn. Perhaps when the trees shed their leaves, they are weeping for all those whom they have lost, all they have been unjustly robbed of. And we just watch them. We watch them mourn. And we think it's beautiful. The trees only give. They provide oxygen and shade and something truly beautiful to look at. If they could speak, they would say, you should all be ashamed of yourself. And we should be. Perhaps that is why trees are so much taller than us. They tower over us and we are forced to look up at them. No wonder we are so small. We are inferior. I hope that there is an alternate universe where trees are cutting down people. Okay. Now, what have I learned from trees? The first, defy fear, grow against gravity, stand tall and proud, sink your roots into the earth, be rooted, be content with your natural beauty, go out on a limb, no matter if it's broken, drink plenty of water, rediscover the seed from which you came, and enjoy the view from top. The second, we have often referred to the forest as the lungs of the planet. During those epic firestorms that gripped the Amazon and Australia recently, all these forests burned and torched maybe tens and thousands of hectares of green growth, drawing down excessive carbon in our atmosphere. Our lungs burned too with them. Now, I have something to say here. Isn't it curious that this coronavirus is a respiratory virus? Could it be that existence is simply now clearing her lungs? It is as if the virus that's hacked our global society and shut down everything has come as a warning to humanity to stop, slow down, observe, and watch how these things are impacting our planet, which is spinning out of control. It is saying, breathe, or I will take the breath out of humanity. So then finally, please tell me, what can we learn from trees? We can learn to breathe, really breathe, from our past anxiety and future fear. We will be free. The tree breathes just like you and me, same mechanically, but the tree breathes naturally, fully, selflessly, unlike you. The third lesson, An interesting fact about tree that caught my attention is that even though it may maintain physical distance from other trees in the forest, when you turn the tree's world upside down and look underground, you see the other side of tree, the intricate and extensive system of roots that connect all the trees. I mean, they are connected. So what does this mean? Like a brilliantly choreographed dance, the fine roots among trees in the forest serve as an information gateway, an intelligent neutral network in constant dialogue with other trees and other living beings in the forest, part of a what you can call a collective trance. We have so much to learn from them. They teach us how to give, how to live, and how to let go. So, in fact, in face of it all, what we can learn from the tree in regards to protecting our community, survival simply can't be about you and me. It's about we in unity. The next lesson: trees emit wisdom. There is a reason what that great philosopher kings, right from Plato to Buddha to Jesus to Muhammad, taught under the tree and found enlightenment there. So know you know where to head to if you want to be famous. The next lesson. It's often said that home is where the heart is. So when someone opens his home, he's no longer alone because he opens his heart. Similarly, when he closes and locks the door, he means to shut you out of his heart, life, family circle of friends, family circle, friends, home, everything. People can sometimes be cruel, exclusive in thinking and limited in being. But in the forest, the door is always open. All living organisms are welcome home. No one is ever rejected or meant to feel alone. No matter who we are or what we do or where we live, we are valued for life. We are an essential force of nature. And regardless of how other people may treat us or find false prejudice or call us foreign because our different skin tone, on earth in the forest, we are never really alone. I find it crazy that in the noisy chaos of COVID 19, where every news channel is now 24 into 7 live in our living rooms reporting on the current pandemic crisis and discussing how to build our communities when everything gets normal, when the pandemic goes away. I mean, they have so many theories. While the tree, the first tool and technology from the beginning of the universe, sits silently in wild nature, waiting to be heard. Friends, every time you are on a crossroad in life, when you reach a dead end, I want you to ask your tree, your favorite tree, what it would like to teach you today, how it might reach you today. Then sit, relax your mind, envision your tree, and wait to see what special message she reveals to you. Then, in the act of this reflection, ask the tree to help you in some way to deal best with the rest of your challenges, frustration, anxieties, and fears. Trees do speak, but to only those who have ears to listen.